I'll share that I found that it was very hard to hear the water. Did anybody else?
The what?
The water.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were focusing on, was the water. So there was so much loudness with like the birds,
The
the truck or whatever was happening, the music. And I would just keep trying to refocus back on, it was such a gentle lap of water. I was just trying to focus on that. But I found it challenging. I mean, I would just refocus. It's not like I was like, you know. But anybody else want to share, Angie?
Well, I think when you first started, you said the water and the seagulls. So, because the water was so quiet,
Oh,
it was
okay.
kind of hard, to hear. So I kept listening to
To the seagulls,
and I
yeah.
just got in a rhythm with them. And so it would drown out the noise of the others. I could hear it, but I was focused on the seagulls.
Yeah, did you feel how heightened your awareness felt? Like my senses felt so strong, my sense of hearing was so strong. Anybody else? How about you guys?
I heard every noise around me that I don't think I ordinarily would hear.
Right.
As I was trying, and it is very hard to hear a very gentle lapping of the water. And so I also
Yes.
go into the seagull. But sitting here now, I don't hear nearly as much around me
Yeah.
as I did.
I want to share that for me, I noticed it becoming easier to listen to the water after every attempt. So I would be crossing my mind with a thought, but every time I did it again, consistent, without judging. That was the difference for me, got easier, and then it was really relaxing, grounding, being the weather.
Anybody else? I almost fell asleep. You almost fell asleep.
For a second, my head started to go this way.
And we're not used to being still for a long time, right? I mean, unless you have a regular meditation practice, you're not used to just being still and conscious and awake for long periods of time. So I think that sometimes the body says like, must be time to go to sleep because we're calm, or you're just Mr. Frank Woods, or you're just like really, relaxed, and then maybe you need more sleep.
Right.
So you're like, oh, okay. Do you guys want to share anything? You don't have to. Fred, come join us. Fred Woods, famous artist.
Hi, Ed. You know you were doing it. I didn't want to intrude.
Yeah, we're doing this for the next 5 days, just from 7 to 8. It's open to anybody. Just meditating, coming down here and meditating, learning a little bit about Buddhism from an actual Buddhist monk. So yeah, anybody, you can drop in, you can come for the whole time.
I might go grab my towel.
Okay.
So it's it is challenging because we're training the mind, training a muscle, no different than any other muscle. And I wish that we can reap the benefits right away, the right now pill. No different than the other pills that we've taken. NyQuil knock you out. But until the doctor tells you, take this pill, but this antibiotic don't kick in until 3 days or 5 days. We're like, oh, that's a big pill. I gotta drag this thing 5 days before I see the effects of it. But it takes patience, and the more we simplify our lives, the more things we cut back, the more we focus on the breath, we get to see the health benefits of it. You just gotta Google benefits of meditation online, Bailey. No, Bailey. Sit down. Yeah, I'm going over here. However, the respiratory system, voluntary and involuntary. It works when we don't know when our next breath is going to be until we get really stressed out, and it forces us to take that deep breath. Right? And it contributes to the sympathetic system and parasympathetic system, the nervous system. And I find it amazing and awesome that the Buddha discovered the power of the breath. And in the Tibetan tradition, if you practice often, and what we're doing here is actually a little bit of vipassana, which is mindfulness of the body. And being part of mindfulness of the body is through the breath, the sensations in the body. The Tibetan tradition, they are able to fine-tune their body and breath to the point where they know exactly when they're going to die. No different than Ajahn Mun, who knew when he caught malaria, and he asked his disciple to assist him to go see the Buddha. And they didn't know that was going to be the last time he was going to see the Buddha. So he put on his sangati, which is the outer robe that you see here. He was able to put that over his shoulder, and he went to the Buddha. They helped him out off the boat in front of the Buddha. On his third prostration to the Buddha, he did not get back up. And one of the students was like, hello? And tried to detect the breath, and I could not detect the breath. And he became, in that moment, not only he was able to time his death, he achieved enlightenment in that moment, became an arahant. Every arahant, every Buddha was an arahant, not every arahant becomes a Buddha. There's 4 stages of enlightenment. So everyone's all excited when we read these types of stories, that any one of us can become an arahant, just by through the training of the breath, to just let go, simply to let go.
And also Yogananda was able to do that. Is anybody familiar with Paramahansa Yogananda? He wrote Autobiography of a Yogi, and he was kind of responsible for bringing yoga over to the West from India. His guru told him that that was going to be his mission in life, was to bring yoga to the West, to America. And so he spent a lot of time in California, and they still have the SRF fellowship out there. But he also was able to know the exact time of his death. And he gave a big speech and then died at the end of it. Which always just amazed me. Like, that is just so weird. Like, can you imagine that's your finale? It's like, and now I just expire, you know? So.
And sorry to bring up on the subject of death. Just in case you don't know, these colors mean death. So Buddhist monks are very grateful when we have an opportunity the next day opening our eyes. We're like, oh, wow, I'm really grateful that we have another opportunity to live today. I can open my eyes. The subject of death is important in meditation because it tells us that the problem is we think we have time. We take billions of breaths in our lifetime. And how many of it do we actually notice? So is peace every breath that you take? And every conscious step that you take in noting the breath, you live longer. That's how it works. So you don't have to go with anti-age medicine, and chiropractic treatment, and more retinol creams, you know? Meditation is free, but you have to be under the good qualifying instruction of a good teacher, an experienced teacher, so that we do it right. And because if not, then we just keep on treating the symptoms, not the cause. There's like that big difference right there. You have to really know why there's so many different types of meditation. Which one is fit for me, and which one is, which is which, and how did the Buddha become enlightened again? And we start to lose hope and faith and confidence in meditation. The romanticism of the word mindfulness, the romanticism of the word meditation. So, as we wrap up our evening, I like to introduce you all to loving kindness meditation. With or without music, Miss Vandana?
You may have music.
So, as part of this 5-day thing, so as I do this daily, if you ever follow me on my social media, I drag just 1 or 2 cameras out with me out in the ocean. I just sit there and just look that way, and I just publish it, go live, so that it inspires the entire world. Millions of followers, they're watching. And it reminds them to take some time for yourself. If Chi Dao is doing it, you should do it. If Chi Dao believes in enlightenment, then you should probably too. He's been doing this since he was 14.